Hello everybody, this is Enayat Meer back for a discussion about the topics which we discussed already and we have done the labs on it. But this is just a discussion topic about the FSRM is a topic which is very important for those who manage servers, and it is a very high level, advanced level. So let's discuss about those labs we have performed already, plus it is a general knowledge for everyone about the FSRM and to manage quotas, file screens and storage reports. At the end we will also discuss about the DFS. So implementing classifications and file management tasks, overview of a distributed file system, and then we will talk about the configuration of the DFS and the discussion about the DFSR as well. So here I have some notes in it added, so to just understand about the FSRM. So first we will talk about the capacity management challenges, what is FSRM. Then in the demonstration I said that as we discussed before and we talked about it, so we can use a virtual environment to go over those provided steps. So how to install? Very simple, adding and removing roles and features from your server manager. So you can install from your dashboard from your server. Then the files on your servers are constantly changing. This is just the overview with contents being added or removed and modified. The Windows Server 2012 file and storage server services server role is designed to help administrators in an enterprise environment to manage continually growing and changing amount of data, and storage requirements change and the data being stored changes as well. So in general, so what we say that we have a 20 terabyte hard drive and you will need to manage storage on that drive. So you will see that how big the organization is, how many users you have, and how you can actually provide the storage to every user. So you actually add this FSRM, you can use existing quota and you can manage quota and assign quota to each domain user from that file server. Then we will talk about FSRM is the one topic right now, which is a file server resource manager. Then we will talk about the DFS, distributed file system. In this way you have one production server in US, one in Canada, one in Europe, one is in a different country like Mexico. So you want to manage all of them. So first you have to have those all sites up and running, linked together, and then once you have one namespace available, under that namespace you can have a DFSR and you can replicate those drives which drives are holding those storage for everyone or for the production for the company. You can replicate them and you can test them also. So for example, one server goes offline and the other picks up, and because it is a fault tolerance method, so we are using that method as a fault tolerance point of view. So we will discuss about that one. So we have these few topics to discuss about it. So let's move on to capacity management. Capacity management includes the determining existing storage use, establishing and enforcing storage use with the policies, and anticipating future requirements. So in this way, if you know the capacity of your server, the size of your drive, and then the number of users which are going to use that drive, and or the number of users you are going to provide them a quota. So for example, everybody is getting 200 megabyte on the profile, you redirect their profile to a file server, and then you have to know that up to what capacity you can use this drive and how many drives you have to add, or you want to extend the storage limit on the server. So that is the one. It's basically a very simple and common thing what we do in production, and we can use these all virtual environment to do this one. So you can analyze how storage is used, defining storage resource management policies, implementing policies to manage storage growth, and implementing a system for reporting and monitoring. So you also can run reports, and you see that who is using how much space. You have to decide that you want to assign a hard quota or soft quota. Then next is about what is the FSRM enables the following functionality. That's the topic on the top what we're talking about. Storage quota management, file screening management. You can actually manage the quota from the existing templates. What you have a pre-configured templates, you're gonna see some screens there, or you can create a customized quota, and then you can screen the files. Who is using how much amount of files from provided quota, or who is using what type of files. You can screen them, you can block the copy, you can use exceptions from the FSRM console, and then you can actually run a storage report, and from there you can actually review the output. Then you have another option, classification management, and then you will see some file management tasks. So we will discuss on these coming up. So here I am putting here in a very brief note on this slide for the quota management, file screening management, and the storage report management. So you simply, first topic, you have this quota management, which is a component that allows you to create, manage, and obtain information about quotas that are used to set storage limits on volumes or folders. The second one is the file screening management. In this management, basically, you can allow, this screening management will allow actually to create, manage, and obtain information about file screens. You can use this information to prevent specific file types from being stored or on the volume or folder, or to notify when users are storing those types of files, and when users attempt to save unauthorized files, file screening can block the process and notify the administrators. And you will see when you set up this one, actually in the labs we have done it already. So you can set up an email or event alert, so this will notify administrators. Then you have a storage report management, and this is a component that allows you to schedule and configure storage reports. So these reports provide information regarding the components and aspects of FSRM or file server resource management. So you have this basically included is quota usage, file screening activity. You can see who is doing what actually and who is trying what, and a file and that manages may negatively affect the capacity management, such as the large files. You don't want someone to store large files, and if they do, actually you can set up a warning at, for example, somebody is given 1 gigabyte limit, you can set up a warning at 800 megabyte, and then you can actually have them a denial of more storage. So that is a hard quota. So you can set up a soft quota. In soft quota, they will use assigned limit plus they can continue, but I would say the hard quota is very important. So I will not use this at this point, but you can pause this screen, and if you have those virtual servers environment, you can use that one. And then we have this a topic about FSRM to manage quotas, file screens, and storage reports. And we will talk about these all topics one by one on each screen, about the quota management, quota templates, and how to monitor quotas, and what is the file screening management, what are the file groups, what are file screen templates, and file screen exceptions. Exception means that when you block some file extension, so nobody can copy from one location to a second location. If you then later decide to let them copy, so you can set up another option, which is exception of those extension. Then you will run about, we will see about storage report. You can run storage reports. Then we will talk about report tasks. So using FSRM to manage quotas and file screens and to generate on-demand storage reports are basically all the topics we will discuss. And quota management, you can use quota management to limit disk space usage and provide notification. What it does basically, it provides notifications when threshold are reached. So like you have again 500 megabyte, you can have a threshold 500 and you can set up a warning on it. You can use couple of commands which are given to you in these slides. And about the template defines a space limit, so you assign a specific limit to a user. The type of quota is a hard or soft. Hard basically will not let a user cross the limit, and soft quota will. A set of notifications to be generated when the quota limit is approached. FSRM provides a set of default quota templates in the quota template node. And this is the screen on the top. This happens when you are done with installation and you run your disk file server resource management console. So from the console, very first second folder on the left side, you click on it, you will see this available quota. These are the template quota. Basically you can see that who you assign this quota, or you can assign from the quota template. So that is a pre-configured assigned quota. And file screen management provides a method for controlling the types of file that can be saved on file server. And file screen management consists of creating file screens, defining file screen templates, creating file screen exceptions, and creating file groups. So file groups are used to define the namespace for a file screen exception, or storage report. A file group consists of a set of file names patterns that are grouped into files to include or files to exclude. And here you see the include, which files users can copy, which cannot copy. So these are the file groups where you can put some exceptions in the FSRM. Templates, file screen templates, and file screen exceptions. Templates provide a definition for newly created file screens, enable control over file screens created from the template, and file screen exceptions enable you to override file screens for a specific location or file group. Storage reports. So this is the storage report. So in this way you run this report that will tell you the output, that who is using how much, and also you can see the duplicate files in the storage reports, file screening audit, files by file group, owner, property, folders by property, large files, and least and most recently accessed files. So this is about the then quota usage. So this is all the report is. So this is a little bit, this was a little bit overview about your FSRM. So let's move on to the next video where I can explain about DFS.